Hello and welcome to the Nova Show. I'm your host, Chris Nova. Welcome to the show. Here at the Nova Show, we do what I want when I want because it's my fucking show. Oh, Hammer says, oh, hi, Nova. Hey, Foe, how's it going? Codeine with Strangers says, haha. What up, Codeine? Codeine with Strangers. What do I just call you that? Do I just call you Codeine with Strangers? I feel like that's a weird name to call somebody. But I also kind of like it, to be honest. I like weird people. I like weird names. Going well. How's it going for you, friend? It's going great, Foe. Howdy, Zup Zup. What's up, Zup Zup? Hi, folks, says Van Clover. Hello, Nova, says Standard Air. Hello, hello. Welcome to the Nova Show. I'm your host, Chris Nova. Welcome in. Welcome to the show, everybody. If you're new to the show, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you don't know what you are, welcome to the party. I'm your host, Chris Nova. Welcome to the show. We don't really know what we're doing tonight, and that's okay. And that's why we're here. And I love you. And I think you're all beautiful people. I think you're all wonderful. You know, honestly, I feel like that could just be a whole show within itself. It's just me telling people how awesome they are. That could just be a show. So I'm tired. And I know what you're all thinking. Nice to meet you, tired. I'm dad. No, okay. No dad jokes tonight. I'm tired. It's late. So I'm gonna make some coffee and try to stay up late. We'll see how it goes. But I'll probably like reach this lovely strung out point of delirium and just see how it goes. I'm exhausted. Nice to meet you, exhausted. I'm Nova. How's it going? Nova, weren't you saying during late last night that you weren't sure you could keep doing late night streams? Yeah. So naturally I'm doing a late night stream to celebrate how I can no longer do late night streams. Hold on, ooh. I just accidentally unplugged my monitor. Let me fix it. Hold on. Classic Nova, says Faux Hammer. That's right. So yeah, let me, I'm just gonna adjust my microphone 1 second. We gotta like get it up close to my mouth here. So you all get to hear all the lovely sounds of my fucking voice. Van Clover says, also the home network changes I said I was going to do earlier this week are done, and I didn't lock myself out. Woo! Well, I mean, it's a good start. Am I right? So we're going to do a hack the box. Nova's doing hack the box. I'm not good, but we'll do one. I don't want to like get in the habit of doing these a lot because I'm not good at them. But we're gonna do one tonight. Cheeto Bandito is like hype. Yeah, so I mean, if it's Friday night, when in Rome. So one of the things that I would want to do first is we gotta update my work from earlier, so. So git status. Let's also add. Sorry, git add *f. Git status. Ah, there you go. Git rm rf report.html. and then we'll do a git save. Cool. For now, we're watching a master at work. Says beat drop. Should I play some beats? I do have some good hacker beats. Do we want to like lose the sleepy music and go for like, I used to have these old beats I used to listen to. They're pretty good too. Like I'm not even playing. This one's called Friday Night Lights. It's really jammy. This is actually the right hacker music to have. Hype it up. Cool. Let's do it. Sign in. So I got a labs account. How are you today, says Faf? I will try, but I'll miss more streams than I catch. Stream was muted and I didn't realize, lol. No, you're good. We're just jamming. I feel like the music's too loud. Let's bring it back down. Right there. We want to just, they say you wanted to kiss minus 30 decibels. You just want your music to just kiss minus 30 decibels. All right, I'm counting on you all to help me make sure my levels are good. I'm trusting my audio feels punchy, loud, crisp, full. You want a nice, deep, full sound. Van Kluver says, I had an idea for an electronic concept album that would be pretty much a tribute to the Hacker soundtrack, but all original tracks. Too bad I don't produce. So this is another thing I was going to start doing this year. I'm going to start producing music for my streams. I get a lot of copyright concerns with the music, and I love music, and I'm actually really good at composing music too. And I would love to just put together like some just sounds just like this, just something you can just groove to, right? And then just like incorporate all of my weird like musical instruments that I love that everybody else thinks is weird. Like we'll just have like some beats with like a very melodic banjo. Why? Because why not? Because we can make banjos sound tight as fuck, and we should, right? Ascertainment says the sound is good, Nova. Thank you, Ascertainment. I can always count on you. All right, so I'm a total noob at Hack the Box. It even calls me one here. So I think we go here, and I think we find one of these ones. I think we go maybe the next tier. We move up a tier. So here's this archetype one. So I think, yeah, this is the Samba share and a SQL server. I don't know. Do we want to do that? This one's called Oopsie Vaccine. Here, I'll let you guys pick. Whichever one of these 0 of 12 tasks completed, y'all can pick and I'll do it. Whichever one you want. I'll do any of these. And they're all very easy, so this should be pretty straightforward. Cody with Stranger says, Chris Nova, I love to hear you joint. What does I love to hear you joint mean? What is joint? Like smoking a joint? I like small, tiny pre-rolls. That's how I roll, pun intended. Like, what is it, like $8.99 at the dispensary for like a single indica pre-roll? My ex-girlfriend and I, this is what we do. We would go walk. She would get a pre-roll, and I would make sure I charged the boombox, and we would go for a walk. Your joint, yes, equals joint. I would love to hear your joint. I see. I would love to hear your music. Yeah, I would love to play music. I wish people would listen to it. Coding with Strangers. Pacific Stone pre-roll, says Cheeto Bandito. Just when I think Nova can't get any cooler, says Cheeto Bandito. Haha, yeah, that's what I figured Hero meant. Yeah, no, I mean, this was our thing. We built a whole relationship on getting stoned and going on walks. This was like what we did. You're like, what, Friday night, what are y'all doing? We are going for a walk. And then like after a while it became like a thing. Right? Like it totally became a thing where it was like other people would show up. They'd be like, it's 7:30. It's time to go for a walk. And be like the dog people would bring their dogs, and we all be like, all right, let's do this. Like it's walk time. And like it was totally honestly, I should do that again. It was a great idea. Okay. So which one of these do we want? We can do oopsie, vaccine, unified, included, or markup. Markup sounds cool. This is window. Oh, you can see this is Linux. These are Windows. This is very easy for Linux base. No, I meant music, says Van Kluver. That's all good. First person to shout one of these out. Do we want to do oopsie? Based says Zup. I think Zup wins, so we're gonna do base. We're gonna do base down here. Okay, so here's what we do. We basically, we gotta connect to the OpenVPN. So I think I should have it here. So I think what I do is I'm gonna go OpenVPN. No, yeah, OpenVPN. Secrets. Hack the box OVPN will run you in the background as sudo. There we go. Back to stack. So we come back here and then we should get like a nice, if we like refresh, we'll give it a second. And then we should scroll down. This is base. Why does it still think? I think you go here, maybe? There it goes. It just takes it a minute. Okay, so it's in. So it says connect to the starting point and it says click to spawn machine. So it'll go spin up a VM and we'll go try to break into it. So who here needs like some just basic context setting on how all of this works? I'm happy to do like what I've learned in the past like couple of days doing this. So let me actually, can I tell a story while we wait for the box to spin up? I'm gonna tell a story. So it's spinning up. So we're waiting on this thing right here anyway. So let me tell you all a story. Let me just you know, sit right down and get yourself comfy. So we have a good question from D. Desser. How noob do these get? Would love to get my kid interested in InfoSec. I mean, they're pretty straightforward. So the cool thing about it, and you'll see this when we start to go through it, is it kind of walks you through it, and there's like a guide that you can totally like, you know, pull up like, along the way, right? So like it's totally like a lab environment, and it teaches you InfoSec as well as like, how to actually go through it. So it's definitely like a cool experience. I would say though that I was able to fly through like the first 12. I didn't know any of the goofy, like, I didn't know the lingo, I didn't know the tools, I didn't know any of that stuff. But I'm also a professional software engineer who works on systems every day. And I like, part of my day job is keeping the bad guys out, and I have definitely broken into computer systems before, legally, of course, very legally, very ethically, of course. And so, so like, I know how to do it. Like, I understand how to like use software in ways it isn't designed to be used, but like, there's an entire discipline that is very foreign to me that like, I don't understand. I'm trying to think of a good example of this. It's like, I guess it would be like this. Imagine if I was a professional, like an engine mechanic, and I worked on like airplane engines, right? And I knew how to oil, grease, and, you know, deal with moving parts that got as hot as jet fuel and blah, 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 blah. And I was just like familiar with the basics. You know, I knew which type of metals did what, how heavy aluminum was, how you have to like secure things for like flying into the atmosphere, how to pressurize cabin. Like, I understood all that kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden they're like, now we're going to teach you how to like build a lawnmower or build a fucking spaceship. And it's like, it's going to be different, but like, I'll understand some of the same basic stuff. So anyway, that's kind of how I feel about InfoSec. Like, I have no idea what John the Ripper is. I don't fucking crack hashes. That's not like a thing I do. I've never had to do that in my career. But like, I certainly understand how to get a fucking packet off the network, right? Like so there's just like different tools that do different things that like some people are like very familiar with because they've done it before, and I've never done it. So anyway, you'll definitely see like some things I'll do while I'm hacking, and they're like, how the fuck did she just intuitively do that? You know, it would take a normal hacker days to do that, and I can just like do it without thinking about it because it's something I'm very familiar with. And then it'll be like, now go and do a PHP reverse shell, and I'm just like herpy derpy back to intern level of like, let me go Google everything. So it's cool, it's nice. It helps me feel like I'm kind of like relearning again, which I like that. It's fun for me. Anyway, so that's the story. So another thing that I have that I decided to do is I redid my home directory recently. So here in my home directory, I have all of these things here that are like meaningful to me. And one of the things that I have is I have this bin directory. And if you look here in my bin directory, I've actually decided, as I started to get into pen testing, I'm just gonna go and I'm just gonna write all the scripts kind of the right way, like once and for all in my life. So I've noticed a lot of other pen testers will have like, oh, we're gonna go, and they have their notes and they do their, you know, shell scripts, and some people are like purists and they like only use bash and they don't use scripts or whatever. I don't know, I'm just gonna get my Arch Linux set up the way I like it and just use that, and that'll be like, it's fun for me, and the whole point of this is to reduce my anxiety. I definitely don't want to make a career path out of it. So anyway, if you go into lib, this is where things get exciting. So if we look at like my nmap here, this is, I've been iterating on this one for several years at this point, but you can see I've got all of my like nmap-y commands here all plumbed through and hooked up, and you can see like, you know, this is like a basic HTTP scan and stuff. So I've made pretty quick work of like breaking into a server, but like I do it in the wild. I don't like actually do it like this. So this is like definitely teaching me the like the career discipline of doing it instead of just like finding a computer and actually trying to break into it. So anyway, and I actually think that I'm not even supposed to really say that. Like I think this is like walking into a dispensary and being like, where's the dope at? Like you can't say that. You have to be like, where is your plant matter for me to put in my water pipe for tobacco, right? Like you have to like use keywords. So anyway, I just don't think I'm supposed to be like, I break into computers, because I definitely don't. Ever. Never have. Never will. Never will. Okay, cool. So one of the things that I also have is I have this command here called bin boop. So bin boop is, this wraps up all of my edge scanning that I've ever done in the wild. So if I ever edge scan one of my own services, this is like everything I kind of do all wrapped up into one. And so you can see it does some curl commands, and then it kicks off like my big Nova map, which is like my nmap and more scanner, which is great because all you have to do is pass a host name to it. And so I can basically just type a boop and then either paste in a host name or an IP address, and it just goes and it's going to basically do all the work for me. So it's pretty much already done. So anyway, you can see here that the way that my boop command is set up is it basically just like runs a couple of really quick commands that just will return instantly, so I can just start looking and seeing what we're dealing with. And then what you don't see is in the background, it's running all of these things in the background, and we can look at those, the output here in a second. And that's just, it's already running. It's running right now, and it's doing all the stuff I'm gonna need. So the first thing it does is it just runs curl. And so we do have an HTTP server online. And we see that it is responding to 200 OK. And you can see that we got some data back. And nothing came back from our surface scan. So nothing came back on the surface right away, but that's okay because we'll probably find some more. And you can see that it says, my script here, it says C home this. And so if I actually do this, actually, let me just show you really quick. So all of my commands that I ever do, you can see here, they will all, and actually, let me just do this really quick. Let me just clean these up. So 184. So we can remove 10.0, all of those. Okay, so this 184 IP address here, this is all the files that we have. I cleaned up all the other ones. You can see that these are all of the scans that I've ran against this target already. I haven't even looked at Hack the Box. I just started scanning it like I do if I was like actually trying to edge audit something. So anyway, this one's a cool one because this one will actually give you like what the web page returns, which I find it useful to just make a copy of all this instead of like keeping it in my bash back scroll. So this is great because I can just grep through all of this as I like need to find specific things. So like, I mean, I usually work pretty quick. I can usually just find exactly what I'm looking for in this directory, to be honest. I don't even need to like run any more scans. It's probably already here. I just need to go find it. And so the curl headers is useful because this will just show me the headers, which is nice. You usually can get this in a browser, but I just do it on the command line because it makes quick work of everything. This all ports will, this is the big long one that will do like the deep in-map scan. The CVE is nice because this will actually just tell me if there's, using the common in-map vuln script, it will just tell me if there's anything exploitable there. HTTP this is all of the TLS certs and HTTP, which version, the verbose, what did the curl say? Does the server do keep alive? Does it not do keep alive? What headers does it have? Blah, blah, blah. The ping ports is also very quick. This one will just do an ICMP packet to every port. And then this is just good old, just regular old in-map. No bells, no whistles. Just tell me what ports are open. Okay, so anyway, we can basically cat all of this, and we should be able to see right away what's going on in the server. So we'll start at the bottom down, and you can see we have all kinds of stuff we've already found out about the server. Like, honestly, this is just fun. I could just sit here and just read this all day and just see what we've been able to find. So you can see we did a trace route, and you can see that there's actually a gateway here in Hack the Box. Like, this is one of the things I don't feel like enough people talk about, is like, we are breaking into public infrastructure at the end of the day. So that's nice. You can see it's only 2 hops away, and you can tell that if you look at your if config, after you do the Hack the Box VPN, you can see it's this ton 0 interface. And what do we know about ton 0 is that it operates at layer 3. Tap and ton packets are really exciting packets for folks who aren't familiar with them, so it's pretty cool. Also pretty risky because it's like you're pretty much getting all the traffic, which is really cool. So anyway, we can go and we can cat everything. So it looks like it's running Linux. It might be running this router something or other. This is usually not super reliable in these things, but it does look like it's a router. Interesting. So you can see that port 80 is open. It's running Apache HTTPD 2.429. You can see SSH is open. It's running OpenSSH on Ubuntu Linux. So it looks like we have an Ubuntu server running Apache. It's probably a LAMP server. And I bet, just from looking at it, that we go and we exploit whatever is behind this HTTP here. And, I bet then we grab some user keys and we can break into our SSH server. Vancouver wants to know, Nova, do you have your script online anywhere? Yeah. GitHub.com/chrisnova/home. Here's my home directory. Everything I have locally here is the same as here. Oh yeah. And then so you can come in here to my Ben and you can see here's my boop command, and there you go. Okay, so where were we? We were here. So anyway, we have port 80 and 22. This is the regular in-map scan here. So again, we're getting HTTP headers and SSH. This is the CVE scan here. So this is usually pretty big, but you can see that it's checking for a lot of different vulns. So we can skip over most of this. So you can see that these are potential vulnerabilities in port 22, which is pretty cool. We have a TCP IP fingerprint. We're getting HTTP title. We have an unknown favicon MD5. Maybe there's something hidden in the favicon. Who knows? And now we're up to curl. Looks like it's returning. Oh, there's a form. Adams Street, strong email info at base. So one of the things I'm looking for is these. So Hack the Box loves to do like DNS fuckery. And you can, yeah, we have this form here. I can almost guarantee that we're going to be doing something with this form. So anyway, let's go take a look at the website. So we will grab our IP and I will keep it on my clipboard, and we can usually just go and we can just plop that right there into our browser and see what we get. So this is the website we're going to be breaking into. The world's #1 file hosting service called Base. Cloud storage. Support. And you know what? I want to go look and see. This all looks like it's JavaScript style. Whatever. So we have this is all JavaScript stuff. Team, pricing, contact. So this is the form we were looking at a moment ago. There's probably a good chance for something in here. Let's go to login. Okay, so we have a PHP server. So I bet if we look at the URL, I bet we see something up here in the URL. It says wrong username or password. Okay, so we know when we input data into our form, it's actually checking something on the backend. So we can definitely talk to backend services, which is good because now it basically means we have an input field that we know that's talking to something on the backend. I also think one of the things that is interesting to check out here is I have this bin HTTP enumeration script here, and I'm just gonna paste. Actually, I'm gonna set up my DNS first, and then we'll do the enumeration. So we said this was base.htb. See down here, this base.htb. So what Hack the Box kind of wants you to do is it wants you to start to treat this like it's an actual domain name. So what you do is you're just gonna do this here, suit up, and we'll paste our IP, and it's just base.htb. So now if we basically replace this IP address, sometimes like this, like if you look at some of these like Ruby and PHP frameworks and stuff, the domain name will actually like help you because it'll route to like base.htb / something, right? So you'll actually need to go do that in order for the website to actually work properly. So that's just like a thing that you learn to do when you're at Hack the Box. So another thing I'm going to do, I'm going to do some HTTP enumeration against this thing. So we will do Ben HTTP enumeration, and then we can just put our host name, which was base.hackthebox. Okay, and then I need to run my Novix packages. So that's going to be, no, it's lib Novix packages. I think it's this. I'll just run it and see what we get. So this will download all of my hacker tools or whatever. So you'll see that there's like Arch Linux. There's like, I think it's called Black Arch, I want to say. Yeah, it's called Black Arch. So this is like a pen testing distribution. Which this is basically like Kali Linux for Arch Linux. I don't know. I don't need to learn all of this other stuff. I'm sure it's cool and it has like interesting tools and stuff on it, but I don't know. I'm boring. I just use regular old Arch Linux and bash scripts. So we'll just run my little bash script. So there you go. Here's getting Go Buster here. So we'll let this download. And thank you for the follow, Joseph. Thank you, thank you. Chris, did you ever do a postmortem on the FOSDEM DDoS? I didn't do a write-up on it, but I will tell you that I'll just tell y'all because it's Friday night, so anything can happen. I know who did the big one, and there was a couple of other small ones that happened after the big one over the next few days. I'll give you a clue. If you look in the repository I just showed you, there's a load testing script. No, I definitely DDoSed Hackaderm myself. We have a new infra team, and I just wanted to see like what would end up happening if I like took the service down, and so I did. It was also good for me to like step up my DDoS game again. So it was nice. It was nice to be able to exercise some of my systems kind of the right way, do a little computer science, you know. Picked up a couple of celebratory pilsners. Nice. I'm building packages. So I have all of these packages on my laptop, but I just don't have them here. But I was at least smart enough to get them all into a bash script, so that all I had to do was just run the bash script. I didn't have to go and like hunt and peck for all of them ever again. It's these little things that like I don't know if they make me stupid or make me smart. Because you know, at the end of the day I am running Arch Linux, so like I'm sure there's better ways of managing this, but for right now it's fine. For right now it's fine. Nice, nice. I told you these beats were good. Am I right? I don't know why this is going so slow. Oh, it's secless? Wasn't there also a Docker container that had the same functionality as Kali Black Arch? I mean, I don't know. There's a couple of pen testy Docker containers out there. Christopher, what are you drinking? So I don't drink alcohol. I'm old and gross. I drink homemade bubble water that my wife makes me because she loves me. And I'm also drinking coffee. Cool. So Seclist are downloading. Stir frying nudes. You gotta love stir frying nudes. Oh my god, bro, hurry up. Unneeded symbols from binaries and libraries. I am drinking Gatorade. I don't drink either. That's awesome. My favorite people are the people who don't drink. They're the coolest people. Because they're the people who could sit with themselves. They're the realest people out there. I'm like I know all these people who are constantly drunk all the time, and like there's nobody home. There's nobody in there worth talking to. They ain't got nothing to say. I mean, actually, let me rephrase that. They got a lot to say, but they don't have the self-discipline to actually manage it without a drink, and that's sad for me. I used to be that way. I used to drink way too much. I drank a lot. Now I just want people to be happy. Oh my god, actually more than I want people to be happy, I want this fucking bash script to hurry up. Alright. Let's go look at our website, poke around while we wait for this. So let's just, one of the things that's like useful is like, there is nothing really wrong with like poking around at one of these websites. So let's try another one. Let's do a name, test.biz, test and test. So let's submit this and see what we get. And one of the things I'll do is I'll inspect this and I'll go to network here. While I do it, we're gonna chase the request, and we can use Burp Suite and more. Oh, here you go. Here you go. We got an error. There's an error processing your request. Please call us instead. So this might be one of those ones where you actually have to use your phone, which would be kind of boring, but like that's okay. So let's take a look at what we have here, these requests. That's Google Maps. So we have contact.php. So we have, look at this. This is important. So we found this forms/contact/php. We got a 200. And we have a cookie. We have a PHP session. Post. Hack the box. Response headers, and let's see our payload in our preview, and that's good to know. So we have this forms contact.php. Hi, I found this number on the back of my modem. Sorry. I hear you. I'm drinking Pepsi. Okay. So, oh, we're downloading CUDA, that's why. So CUDA is a hashing library that you use for your video card. And that's also how we crack hashes. Okay, so let's go check out this /forms/contact/php. So let's see our post. So request headers. I want to see our request payload. So let's see here. So we can do view source, view parsed, and I think there's a way where you can do copy as like view source, view decoded maybe. I thought there was like a copy as curl or something like that. See, my brain's starting to fade, you guys. I'm already like losing it. Query string parameters. View URL encoded. So we can try name, we can actually try to build this like copy. Here you go. This is the menu I was looking for. So you can do copy as curl right here. And let's go look and see what our curl looks like. That's what I was looking for. So see, isn't this cool? This is great. So There you go. So I go into temp here and I can rmrf alice. And I will touch curl.sh. And let's do it. Cool. So now we can easily, this is very similar to what the functionality you'll get in it with a tool called Burp Suite. I don't know if y'all have heard of Burp Suite before, but we have a cookie. We have WebKit. Cool. So name is equal to test. And it looks like there's this like very strange WebKit boundary, form data name, compressed insecure. That's multi-encoded or something. Yeah, it's like very strange. Cool. So we can maybe try to fix the request and see what we have going on. That could just be a bug, or that we could be onto something. The other thing, and so that's this contact.php file. So the other thing is like, we know we have a shitty PHP server, so there's probably like a million fucking gajillion ways of like breaking into this. And so we're just gonna wait for this to finish so that we can start to enumerate it with GoBuster. In fact, I think GoBuster should already be in here, so we can probably just do it now. So we can do sudo ben http enumeration base.htb, and there we go. So GoBuster basically does like a brute force way of scanning to see what pages might actually return a 200. And I have it set up to do a couple of different like really common scans. And so you can see this one is checking for PHP extensions. I also check for ASP. There's an XML in here, I think. I forget all the ones I've done. And you can see I have this like word list or whatever. So it really is doing brute force, right? So it's just literally just sending HTTP request to see what returns. So this is the technique that is used for, they call it enumeration, but like it's basically just seeing which web pages are actually there. If that makes sense. Does this get you blacklisted in the wild? I mean, it's not unreasonable, right? Like any public facing server. I'll just give y'all an idea. I think Alice needs to be rebooted, so we can actually do like this one. Cool, so there's Esme. So we can actually do like a journal cuddle follow. And we can pipe to grep-i SSH. There you go. So these are people who are literally enumerating my SSH server in the wild right now. Right, and like we can turn on fail to ban, and there's like, in fact, we already have a lot of this stuff enabled, but you can see that like people will often try to, there's all kinds of scripts and Python-y things and libraries and tools. So you can even see that like our host here somebody's literally has Metasploit hooked up to one of my production servers right now, right? Like it's fairly common to see these scans just happening just constantly around the internet. And there's also like if you are like actually trying to go and scan and look for wild servers, there's like some really, like you could find a server you could break, and like you could break into like a real server and like you could probably find it in like less than 5 minutes. There's a tool called ZMap. Have y'all heard of ZMap before? So check this out. So you could do sudo ezmap 139. Just nmap, no, ZMap. So without going into too much detail, ZMap scans all these Java servers listen on like port